Hello YouTube. Green Ranger can't make it today. He's on sabbatical. So I'm his cousin from down under. You can call me El Cabron. I'm here to teach you about spray caps on the flame cans. So, what do we got? We got both the flame orange and the flame blue. These are both the new versions that are made in Europe, real high quality. These days, most spray paints come with a pretty good stock tip on them. So the days of a shitty stock tip are kind of over. On the orange, you'll see that it comes with a Astro Fat, and on the blue, it comes with a German Outline 4. These are both very popular caps already, so right off the bat, you're already starting with a good system. As you can imagine, on a variable high output can like the orange, the Astro Fat's gonna spray quite fat. Conversely, on a low pressure can like the flame blue, the German Outline 4 is gonna give you a medium outline. You know, probably about 2 finger widths wide, 1 finger width if you go pretty quick and close to the wall. So right off the bat, you're starting good, but just like every fine artist with a paintbrush likes to use a different brush for different thing, us graffiti writers like different caps for different things. What we're gonna do is a little lineup of caps here, starting with the thin tips, and we're gonna try them on both cans. What we have is a red dot, also known as a micro. Also, we have a black dot, and we also have a Molotow super skinny. It's kind of interesting. The reason why I got both of these out right now is a little known fact that these both come from the same exact mold. But some people swear up and down that they spray differently. So we're gonna put them up next to each other and just see if that really is true or not. And then after that, we're gonna be doing some medium caps. Now, some of you might be wondering, why is a New York Fat cap in here? Well, the reason why it is because so much paint is low pressure these days, this is not really a fat cap on a lot of cans. So if you're using like a 94, flame blue, Molotow, any of those type of cans that are lower pressure, it's not gonna come out fat like it used to back in the day when these were named. Because I mean, if you tried this on a can of 1989 Krylon, especially ultra flat black, you would have a huge flare. That's not the case anymore. Granted, on a high pressure can, fat, but a very good medium outline cap for low pressure paint. So that one is in the running. A second one up is a German Outline 4, which is just the stock tip on the flame blue. I just happen to have one, so we'll use that as a good benchmark. And a blue dot, which is the stock tip, again, quote unquote stock tip for the Molotow cans. But it's a great outline cap. It's just a little soft. If you do stenciling, this would be a great cap to use, but it's also good for all-around graffiti art too. All right, and lastly, we're gonna feature a few fat caps. The classic orange dot, which everybody knows. And again, this used to be a really fat cap, but not so much anymore. Nevertheless, it still outputs more than New York Fat cap, so we're keeping them in the running. Next up is the silver fat. Yes, this is the new one, so we'll be testing that along with the others. And then we have a Astro Fat. Very popular. So we're gonna do a full test. Basically what we're gonna do is what AP did last time. Do a series of lines, shapes, and patterns so you can see how the can reacts to how you use it. Now, without further ado, we now launch the Art Primo Cap Review Series. You notice I'm shaking the cans upside down. The reason why is they travel a long way to get here. You know, they come from Europe, sit in the warehouse, and then get to your house. So they've been sitting for a minute. So make sure you always shake your paint really good. On the back of the can, I think it says like 2 minutes. You don't need to have to go quite that long, but definitely give it a good thorough shake. Highly thick paint, because if not, you'll clog your caps. Then that would be your fault. First up, we're gonna do a test with the Molotow Super Skinny cap. We're gonna do it on both of these cans so you can see what type of reaction you get. And remember, like I said before, the MSS and the black dot come out of the same mold. So let's see how they stack up next to each other. First up is the flame blue spray paint. Let's see how it handles it. Now, as you can see, the MSS on the flame blue gets you a pretty clean, sharp, precise line. You can do pretty good detail with that cap. Very small lines. So you can do all kinds of shapes, doodads, whatever. And it does flare a little bit out. But as you can see, it's more of a softer spray. As you can also see, it makes really clean lines. Rust. We make really clean lines if you just want to do some letters. So let's try the MSS on the flame orange. Now remember, this is the high output can. So this is a little bit more pressure, a little bit more volume. Now already I'm feeling the valve has a little bit more action to it. So nevertheless, I'm still getting pretty controllable lines with this cap. If you paint a lot of steel, then this can would be a good choice for you, especially with this cap if you want to do nice outlines. Although I'm not getting as clean of a line as I did with the other can. Nevertheless, still very good. Let's do a little tag here. Rust. Okay, in rust we trust. So I like this cap on this can. But let's see how black dot looks, because apparently they come from the same mold, right? All right, up next is a black dot. So let's do this side by side with the other cap, and we'll see if there's any real difference. All right, first up with the black dot, we'll do a little star. Spiral, doodads. I have to tell you, this feels exactly like the MSS. So I wouldn't be surprised if the rumors were true, because it looks just like one. At least to me, it feels like the same cap. Okay, now we're gonna do a quick test with the AP Micro Cap, also known as the red dot. So first we'll do it on the blue, then we'll do it on the orange. We'll see how it looks. So this is the AP Micro. On the Molotow Premium, this is my favorite outline cap. So if you ever get some Molotow Premium, definitely try some of these out. They're pretty dope on the Molotow. It comes out faster, a little bit drippier, but super thin line. I mean, check this out. Really, really thin. So if you're looking for a super thin detail line, this would be the one to get. It doesn't really flare out too much either, but I'm a big fan of it. It does react a little differently on the blue. Try this can on a Molotow, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's like it was made for it. All right, let's try it on the Flame Orange. Again, this cap will spray out a little bit faster than the black dot and MSS. It's a more high pressure cap, so remember that. So, for making doodads and whatnot, which is kind of interesting because on the blue, I feel a big difference on the Micro versus the MSS. But on the orange, it's kind of the same. It's not a whole lot different here. Let's do quick tags. Although, it is coming out a little faster, I will say that. So, that was the micro cap on the orange and the blue. An excellent high detail cap, but sprays a little bit faster than the MSS. So let's go to a review of the three. So we've definitely come to the conclusion that the MSS and the black dot are the same exact cap. Look at them side by side, the way they spray, there's absolutely nothing different between. If one's out of stock, get the other. Or if you like the black cap, get the MSS. I'm sure some of the commenters are going to disagree with me and call me crazy, but you know, that's okay. They are the same cap. The AP Micro Cap, fantastic. Very sharp, detailed lines, but does spray about twice as fast as the MSS and the black dot caps. So basically what that means is the paint comes out of the can a lot faster, about double what you're gonna get from the MSS and the black dot caps. So keep that in mind. It is a faster spray, but it's a cleaner, harder spray. So there are some differences. Anyways, let's move on to the next round of caps. Up next, we're gonna be doing a review of all the medium caps. And again, we're gonna be doing the stock tip that comes on the Flame Blue, just because it's a great cap. That is the German Outline 4. Also up, we will be doing the Blue Dot, which is the stock tip on the Molotow can. Also a great medium outline cap. It's gonna be interesting how it reacts on this can though, because the Blue Dot used to be a huge fat cap on the Krylon, so that'll be interesting. And then also we'll be doing a New York fat cap. Some of you probably are already thinking a New York fat cap or fat cap. It is, but for all intents and purposes, it's an all-around cap, so let's put it in the middle. So we'll do a review right now, and we'll see how that goes. First up is the German Outline 4, which is a stock tip on the blue cans. This cap is definitely softer than a lot of caps that I use, and it's a slower spray, but it's very clean, very controllable even. And it does have a little bit of more flair. I say it's slightly bigger than the Black Dot and the MSS. Let's see how it works in a tag. The paint's still wet, the buff paint's still wet, so it's gonna eat it up a little bit. Just don't mind that. We just didn't have time to wait for it to dry. But it's a great cap. As you can see, the output's nice. I couldn't think of a better stock tip to go in the blue can. Excellent choice. So let's try it out on the orange can. Definitely feels fatter, chunkier. I can't even go that small, I gotta go bigger. I don't want that star to be clean. There we go. Clean it up. As you can see, the output is getting higher on this can. So yeah, as the cap output goes up more, you'll notice that the orange will get progressively more fat. All right, on to the next cap. This is the blue dot. Remember, it's stock tip from the Belton can. Let's see how it fares. It feels noticeably bigger on the blue. Almost like the German Outline 4 on the Flame Orange. So definitely a larger spray on the blue can, which is kind of surprising because it feels a little smaller on the Molotow. Yeah, definitely more flare on the blue. That's very interesting. Yeah, way more flary on the blue. That is a very interesting effect on. All right, we'll try it out with the Flame Orange, see how that looks. This kind of reminds me of how it was on Krylon. It was like a big, soft spray. Real soft and big. If you do stenciling, this is an excellent cap to use, by the way. Spray is real soft. It doesn't output a lot of paint, but it comes out quite wide and soft. Let's see how the tags look like this. Honestly, I don't really like this cap on the orange. There's better caps to get. But on the Flame Blue, it's a great outline cap. Excellent. Very sharp and flary. Really, really like that cap. Now, let's try out a New York Fat cap. Everyone loves the New York Fat cap. This is basically the go-to for everything. Whenever I tell someone if they just want to get a benchmark, always start with the New York Fat cap, because that'll give you your baseline for how everything else reacts, because everybody knows what a New York Fat cap's like. Nevertheless, we're gonna add it into the throwdown. So on the Flame Blue, New York Fat cap. God, I love this cap. You notice how just thick and juicy it is, but it's not that much thicker than the other caps as far as width-wise goes, but it just outputs the paint so nicely and just crisp, responsive. It's just a great cap. I would say I do about 80% of my graffiti with this cap. It is so much better on almost anything. God, I love this cap. New York Fat cap is so dope on the blue. It's just, you can just do anything with it, man. It's so sick. All right, let's try it out on the orange. This is the New York Fat cap on the Flame Orange. So let's see how it fares. Uh-oh, did somebody say old Krylon? Let me just look at this really quick. Look at that. Didn't that remind you of the old Krylon cans? Woo! I know that flare. Haven't seen one in a long time. So as you can see, the New York Fat cap creates a nice wide spray on the Flame Orange. And if you've ever used old Krylon back in the day, I think you need to get your hands on some of these because it'll remind you a lot of it. Because the way it behaves with thin tips and fat tips is it's not dissimilar at all. It's very much like an old Krylon can. That's the best way I can describe one of these, except it's not as thin and runny, you know, it actually has some coverage to it. But the way it reacts to the caps, excellent, excellent. Yeah. This is a great cap, all-around cap for anything you need to do. If you're ever in doubt, just get a New York Fat cap because it'll probably cover you in almost anything. All right, so now we're at the part that everyone's waiting for, the fat caps. We're gonna start with an orange dot on a flame blue. This used to be a really fat cap on Krylon back in the day, but things have changed. So we're gonna try it on the blue can and on the orange, and see how it works. Nice and thick. And then we'll do a spiral. And then we'll do this. We're only gonna do one end this time. I don't wanna do a bunch of crap. Nice flare. Excellent flare characteristics, by the way. And then this is a great all-around cap on the blue. Love it. Let's try it on the flame orange and see how it looks. Yep, definitely fatter. Definitely. It's like a soft, fat spray. Excellent flare. Sorry, I just cut the flare short so we can get a tag in here. Softer, but a little fatter on the flame orange. So next, we're gonna do an Astro cap on the flame blue. And we'll see how that flares out. Because we always start with the star. And as you can see, the Astro does that classic kind of donut shaped spray. So if you like to do like the tiger stripe fill-ins, this is the cap for you. Spiral. Again, nice and donut-y shape. This is an excellent cap. This is a low pressure paint. Can you believe that? Okay, let's do a tag. Oh yeah. Oh, did I just bump that piece? My bad. If you want to get real flary with it, then this cap on the blue is an excellent choice. That's the Astro cap. Let's fix that stuff. Let's try it out on the flame orange and see how it reacts. The paint on the wall is a little wet, so just keep that in mind. I didn't let the buff dry, so we'll have to cover a little bit more. That said, spray's huge. Does pretty well. And again, with the orange, what you'll find is the paint's just a little more flary and softer spray. The blue, I think, is actually a thicker paint. But if you need to do large areas, this is an excellent product for that. We'll just do Russ. Yeah, I really like this cap on the orange. So we're down to the last cap, which is the Silver Fat. My other can of purple flame orange went empty, so we got to switch to a can of black now to test it. So that is a little bit of a difference, but I should use black from the beginning anyways. Light purple just wasn't contrasting on the blue very well. Let's do the final test. Final countdown. Dun-dun-dun-dun. The final countdown. And it is really, because this is my favorite cap, man. Silver Fat. You give me a Silver Fat and anything, I'll be happy. This is my go-to. If it's not a New York Fat, it's a Silver Fat. As you can see, I don't use a lot of thin tips. I like to go big, broad, thick lines. Let's rock it. So Silver Fat on the flame blue. Remember, I buffed this in between each spray, so it's gonna eat the paint a bit. Not a whole lot I can do about that. Don't have all day. But as you can see, the Silver Fat has a bit of a more refined spray than the Astro does. Although the Astro flares nicely, I will say that. But I think the Silver Fat takes the cake. Woo, this can is running out. Yes, so the Silver Fat with Flame Blue is an excellent choice. Let's try Flame Orange with the Silver Fat. Oh yeah. Yep. That's when the Flame Orange shines, baby. Give it a Silver Fat. You can do those big letters. Yup. Oh, I forgot the flare. Let's do a tag. Yeah, Silver Fat, Flame Orange, so dope. By far my favorite combo if you just want to do a big nasty tag. We've done the test. We came to the conclusion that all these caps work great on these cans. My personal favorite, if you're using a Flame Orange and you want to go big, then you definitely want a Silver Fat. Like, that thing just flares like no other, man. It just goes huge. If you want to go big on the Flame Blue, I would definitely get the Astro. I think it flares better on the blue. I think the valve's a little bit different. So the ratio of the way it sprays is a little bit more better for that. But for the blue, if you want an all-around cap, get a New York Fat cap. If you're just doing a little bit of everything, there's really no finer cap for the blue. So that's why I'm featuring this right now. For just all-around painting, that is the cap to go for. If you're doing thin stuff, then I would definitely recommend the Black Dot or MSS on the blue, or the same on the Flame Orange. Those are a great way to go. Nevertheless, a lot of these caps will work great either way. It's up to you to decide what you like. I'm just here giving you suggestions. All right, so hit us up. artprimo.com, 206-365-4083. Give them a call. Tell them I sent you. Tell them the Green Ranger sent you. Tell them to hook you up because we got all the graph gear that you are looking for. Caps, markers, streakers, spray paint. We got it. 206-365-4083. Later.